My very first video went live last week. On paper, launching a brand new AI channel is a personal win, but under the hood, it had some serious flaws, and my absolute lead critic called me out on them the exact second the link went live. His critique boiled down to two lethal retention killers, stretched visuals and repetitive background music that caused massive audio fatigue. And honestly, he was 100% right. Now, let's establish something right out of the gate. This is not a generic CapCut tutorial video, or any tutorial video for that matter. There are already thousands of identical channels out there breaking down basic button layouts or how-to guides. That's not what we are doing here. When you subscribe to this channel, you are embarking on a long-term AI mastery journey together with me. We aren't just making videos, we are building a systemized, high-efficiency content engine. That means mastering the software stacks, optimizing human-to-AI workflows, and using advanced data tools like vidEQ to maximize the impact of our titles and keywords. It also means testing the exact hardware that enhances productivity. I want you experiencing the entire journey, learning alongside me. Therefore, today, I'm auditing my own raw mistakes live on screen so you can watch exactly how a beginner transitions into a pro editor. Let's start with Phase 1, the scripting framework. Welcome inside the engine room. Phase 1 of the process is always scripting. Scripting first helps us think about what we want to convey as message, and it is then easier to put together the video with a well-written script. Doing the video first would be the wrong move because then it prevents creative thinking since you have to write a script to fit the video and not the other way around. The message could be lost. Since I'm doing this solo, my main team members are Gemini and ChatGPT. Here is how I actually use them. I start right here in Gemini because it holds the entire historical memory of my workspace, my hardware specs, and my critics' feedback. It acts like my creative partner, drafting the raw structure. Once I have a foundational version I'm happy with, I copy the content and move it into ChatGPT. I ask it to refine the phrasing, polish the pacing, and give me a secondary creative angle while keeping the overall intent completely intact. For a newbie like me, balancing these two models keeps the script moving forward. But once the text is sorted, that's when you run straight into the timeline formatting traps. Let's move to Phase 2. Phase 2 is where I ran headfirst into my first major editing mistake, stretched visuals. At first, I honestly thought it was a small issue, but once the feedback started coming in, I realized how quickly bad formatting can destroy the premium feel of a video. The funny part is, CapCut already has a really solid editing engine. It's fully capable of making content look clean, modern, and cinematic. The problem wasn't the software. The problem was me not fully understanding the workflow yet, and that's part of this journey. I'm still learning all of this in real time, so over these first few videos, you're basically watching me build the production system from scratch, mistakes included, but together we will learn and we will improve. The biggest lesson I learned this week came from mixing footage from different devices. For example, imagine dropping a vertical 9:16 phone recording, maybe a desk setup shot or a mobile app screen grab, onto a standard 16:9 widescreen desktop timeline. My first instinct was simple: grab the side handles in CapCut and stretch the footage until it filled the screen. Huge mistake. The moment you do that, everything starts to break visually. Text becomes blurry, layouts get warped, hardware proportions look strange, and even if viewers can't explain why the video feels off, they immediately sense the drop in quality. So now my workflow is completely different. Take a look at the control panel on screen right now. Instead of stretching the footage, I keep the original aspect ratio fully locked to preserve the source quality and pixel integrity. Then I use the global scale slider to zoom in naturally, usually somewhere between 105% and 115%, depending on the shot. Alternatively, you can also use the Canva option and add a blurry background feel to it. Both ways improve the output instantly. It's a small technical change, but visually, it makes a massive difference. So in this phase, let's go through the timeline together and start correcting these assets properly, because this is one of those subtle production details that quietly separates amateur-looking videos from content that actually feels polished and premium. Now we move into Phase 3 of the audit, and this one tackles the second major issue my critic called out: background music fatigue. Looking back, I made a very classic beginner mistake in my first video. I found one cool tech-style soundtrack, dropped it into CapCut, and let it play on loop for almost the entire 10-minute runtime. At first it sounded fine, but somewhere around the 4-minute mark, the music stopped feeling cinematic and started feeling repetitive. Instead of supporting the video, it slowly became this constant audio drone sitting underneath everything. And once that happens, viewers start mentally checking out. Some mute the video, some lose focus, some just click away entirely. What I'm learning now is that audio retention is deeply psychological. Human ears adapt extremely fast. After about 90 to 120 seconds, the brain starts tuning repetitive sound into the background. And when nothing changes emotionally or sonically, attention naturally starts drifting. So to fight that, I'm now building around something I call the 2-minute dynamic shift rule. The idea is simple. One music track should never carry the entire video. Every time the content shifts into a new chapter, a different workflow, or a fresh visual section, the soundtrack should evolve with it. Even subtle audio changes can subconsciously reset the viewer's attention and make the pacing feel alive again. Take a look at my CapCut timeline right now. To make these transitions feel smooth instead of jarring, I'm learning how to use the audio handles properly, creating a clean 1.5 second fade out on the outgoing track, followed by a matching 5-second fade in on the next one. But the biggest lesson for me has been audio ducking. I'm pulling the music levels way down, usually around negative 12.5 decibels, so the voiceover stays sharp, clear, and front and center without fighting against the beat underneath. Because at the end of the day, the music should support the story, not compete with it. So let's jump into the timeline and start slicing these tracks up properly, because good pacing isn't just visual, it's audio too. And that brings us to phase 4, the ultimate reality check. What I'm starting to understand is that building a systemized content engine isn't about creating a perfect masterpiece on your very first upload. It's about consistency. It's about showing up, refining the workflow, learning from mistakes, and improving the system one small step at a time. Because honestly, this channel isn't just about AI tools or video editing. It's about documenting the process of going from complete beginner to someone capable of building a high-quality production pipeline from scratch. And I want this journey to be practical for you too. So below this video, I've mapped out the entire blueprint I'm currently building around. If you are trying to launch your own automated channel layout alongside me, I've left my custom vidIQ link right at the top of the description. It's the exact AI data engine I'm using to analyze search trends and optimize my keywords so the algorithm actually picks up these videos. I've also included a link to download CapCut completely free, alongside the broader engine room setup that powers this workflow. Everything from my productivity software down to the physical hardware I use day to day, including my editing mouse, external drives, headphones, and desk gear, is documented down there so you can see exactly how this system is evolving in real time. The goal isn't to pretend I've mastered everything already. The goal is to build openly, improve publicly, and create a repeatable workflow that becomes more efficient with every single upload. And in video number 3, we're moving into the next major upgrade, the voiceover engine itself. That means learning how to improve pacing, cadence, delivery, and how to make AI-assisted narration sound more natural and human. But this journey isn't just about AI tools or editing workflows. It's also about feedback. A huge part of improving as a creator is learning how to analyze what's working and what clearly isn't. I use vidIQ to study performance metrics, audience retention, titles, and overall video optimization, but data alone isn't enough. I also need real human feedback. That's where you come in. Your comments genuinely help shape the direction of this channel, whether it's pointing out weak pacing, confusing edits, audio issues, or even ideas you want to explore deeper. That feedback helps me improve every single upload, and ideally, as I improve, the videos become more valuable for you as well. So if you're enjoying this journey, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop your honest thoughts in the comments. Every comment helps refine the system and helps all of us build better content together. So if you want to follow the raw reality of learning AI content creation from scratch without the fake guru energy, hit subscribe and come build this thing with me. Now let's see whether my lead critic approves of the next version of the layout. I'll see you in video number 3.